Marnie's here, let's start your day. Fabulously flawed, we're lighting the way. Monday to Friday, new episodes with laughter and love. Let's start the show. We're shaking things up. Don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Motivation, inspiration, and fun. Fabulously flawed, everyone. So shine a little brighter. Grab your smile and sing along. The show's about to start with Marnie, your host. You can't go wrong.
Fabulously flawed friends, welcome to Fabulously Flawed. I am your host Marni, and it's Wednesday, where I love to give my words of wisdom Wednesday, remind everyone it's okay not to be okay. You are so not alone, so not alone. People may not talk about it as much yet, but trust me, you are not alone. And today's episode, I wanted to just call winning era. We are in our winning area, and here are ways that we are going to continue to stay in our winning era. And, you know, there's a lot of darkness in the world, but there are ways that it can kind of be tuned out. And if you try and strictly focus truly on the things that make you happy and things that bring you, I guess, unless it brings you peace or profit, there's really no need for it in your life. And one of the ways we need to start winning within ourselves is to stop believing what our brain is telling us. That is the most draining, and it is a waste and time consuming, just because most of the things, 99% of the time we worry about, it does not happen. Most of them do not come to fruition. And our anxiety in our brain, I think, is lying to us, because you're not a bad friend or parent or partner or an employee. People do like you. If they knew you, they wouldn't. I know sometimes we think people won't like me if they knew the real you or real me. And it's like, well, how else am I going to find the people that can understand who I am if I'm not the real me? It's like walking around with a Halloween mask. You don't know who's underneath that. Let me see what's underneath that, and then we'll see if we can chill or not. Your mind tells you that everyone's doing so much better than you, which that's the comparison. Nip that in the bud and stop comparing, because my journey is not your journey, listener one or listener two, listener, hopefully a whole bunch of people. But even if one listener, your journey is not my journey. So we're not supposed to compare, oh, look where she is in her life, because we're not on the same path. We're in our own lanes. So don't think anyone's doing better than you. You just need to be doing better than yourself. And I know we think a lot. I did in the very, very beginning. Everyone's going to make fun of me, or people are going to judge me. Oops. Now, I'm telling I'm telling you guys to just step out of your comfort zone, do something you love. I put myself out there on video. I'm like, okay, peace, love, Marni. I started doing speaking, and then I wrote a book and promoted it. And I was petrified to do that because it's real life stories and traumatic events that happened here in Miami, and people, places, and things are very, I used, real people, real places, real things. So I was petrified. And then I was like, screw it. You know what? People talk about me all the time anyway. Might as well just do what I love. And stepping out of that mode was truly game changing, because I'm like a 56-year-old woman all over TikTok. And if people are judging me and that's what you want to waste your time on, then I pity that person. And I know sometimes we think we don't deserve good things. Our work may not be good enough. And I literally thought for so many excruciating long years that I didn't deserve anything good. I was so happy and I felt fortunate. I used to say to my husband, oh, well, I have room and board. At least I'm happy I have room and board. And he was like, what are you talking about, woman? And it was just, I didn't feel like I still have imposter syndrome, and it's very hard for me to say, okay, thank you for that lovely compliment. Thank you, instead of trying to justify and it's taking a compliment without having to defend myself with no armor there. And it's very vulnerable for me, but I have learned, and that just helps me with part of my winning in life. One, control the emotions, control. Sometimes it's such a knee-jerk reaction. If somebody says something, we're like, what are you talking about? Why'd you say that? And we just boom. But when you can pause for that moment and say, like, a quick reflect, is this worth me discussing? Because sometimes you could just say, noted, all right. But before you react, listen to what they're saying. Don't listen to respond. Just, okay, so what you're saying, help me understand. So what you're saying is you just want the two of us to go out tonight. You don't want a whole bunch of people. I'm creating a situation rather than what? I can never invite the right amount of people. So it's just understanding and pausing. Really, it's been such a game changer in my life. And stop wasting time on those people who don't care, the ones that don't value you or deserve your time. I know I have a friend who I reach out to a lot. I know she's going through so much, but she never reaches out to me. And I was finally like, fuck that. I'm going through shit too, and nobody ever reached out to me. So I said, okay, I'm not going to waste my time calling anymore. Relationships are a two-way street, and guess what? My phone hasn't rung. Crazy, isn't it? And another bit of advice to win in life is to never give up, no matter friggin' what. Because when you give up, you're betraying yourself. You did not come this far to come this far. I remember when I was just the emotional traumatic breakdown I had of the trembles and the screaming and crying and the hysterics. And I had this moment of, you know what? I didn't come this far at 48 years old to be laying on a floor in a fetal position. I have to figure out, what am I learning from this? Not, why is this happening to me? Because that's all I played victim. Why is this happening to me? Poor me. And then I realized, you know what? I can learn from this, because people have no idea what's going on in people's lives. People need to stop being so friggin' judgy. And I learned so much about why I went through. I am so grateful for the breakdowns, because I was able to reassess my life from birth. And I figured out I was one big trauma response is my personality. But it made sense. All the puzzle pieces started to make sense why my behavior is the way it was. And it was such a learning experience, and I was not going to give up. I didn't come to spend all those years of hell and back up and hell and back up. So keep going. Another thing I learned, keep your mouth zippity zip. Keep your goals private. Say less, do more, and your results will speak for you. I never said to people, oh, gosh, I hope I get listeners if I start a podcast. And because most people would be like, why would you want to do that? Or do you really think you could do a podcast? Or who's going to listen to you? The same naysayers I got when I first started speaking and first started doing a book and first doing anything, people. And then I stopped listening to those people, of course, and they're not in my lives anymore. But all of those naysayers, I learned, screw that. So one day I had like my 100th episode, and people were like, damn girl, I didn't know you were doing that. So keep everything private. That has helped me so much with uninvited negativity wished upon me. And another thing that I believe has saved me is waking up with a purpose. Because without having any kind of purpose, it's an empty feeling, and I don't like that feeling. Now, being a mom, of course, when my kids were in school, that was my purpose. And we all have hobbies. We have workout classes. We can go back to school. We have many hobbies. We work out, we run, dance, paint, or whatever your hobby is. But I knew that there was more to me out that needed to be, how can I say this? My passion indirectly became my purpose. The amount of mental health awareness and letting everybody know, because when I hear other people talk and say they have borderline personality and they've done this, they know what splitting is, from that extreme love to the instantaneous monstrous hate and the shame we feel after. That's an example. So when I started speaking and I heard other people had the same thing I have, I'm like, I'm not alone. So I know the more I speak out, other people are hearing they're not alone. So living with this purpose has given me something to truly wake up for every day, even if I'm not in the, even if I'm not in the mindset, I still come and I show up. And then once I start, I feel so much better. And these are just some ways to win in our worlds and stay in that winning era, put yourself in your winning era, and to have a wonderful Wednesday. And wow, this week's going by fast. I say that, I know, every time I'm about to say tomorrow's Thursday and I'm like Friday Eve and I'm like, I'm still recovering from the weekend. But have a wonderful Wednesday, and to remember never to ever, ever let anyone burst your bubble, and to never, ever, 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 ever let anyone dull your sparkle. You could check my book out on Amazon, True to Myself. Have a perfect day, a perfectly fun day that brings you as much peace you can bring yourself. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Fabulously Flawed. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, we're so glad you're here, and we hope you'll come back Monday through Friday for another serving of empowerment, motivation, and inspiration. We'll catch you next time on Fabulously Flawed.